Give me 5 minutes and I will awaken your inner power. I know this sounds like another empty promise of another self-help guru, but staying with me because what I'm about to share is not motivation that disappears tomorrow morning. It is about remembering who you are really below all the layers of what others have told you to become. How many times have you felt it was for something else? As if there were this version of oneself that was buried in years playing safely, following the crowd and living according to the script of all others. And if I told you that everything you are looking for, all the answers you need, every gram of power you want, is already inside you now, just waiting to be triggered? Here is the uncomfortable truth that no one wants to admit. Most of us are living like zombies. We woke up, follow the same routine, think of the same thoughts, react in the same way to the same triggers, and go to bed feeling that we watch our lives happen instead of actually living it. We've made weird to ourselves, so disconnected from our inner wisdom that we need apps to tell us how to breathe and influencers to tell us how to think. But you are not born to be common. You are not designed to mix in the background or shrink to make others comfortable. There is something magnificent in you that has been dormant for so long that you have forgotten that there is. Today, let's wake up. If this message has played something inside you, if you feel you are ready to arouse your true inner strength, then subscribe now to this channel. Here, every week, you will receive transformative lessons inspired by the wisdom of Ralph Waldo Emerson to strengthen your mind, align your life, and live with purpose. Click subscribe and start this journey back to who you were born to be. 200 years ago, a man named Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote something that would shake the basis of how we think about human potential. He called self-confidence, but it was not just about independence. It was a matter of recognizing that you have access to the same creative force that moves mountains, builds civilizations, and creates miracles. The same intelligence that hits your heart and grows your hair knows exactly how to solve all the problems of your life if you just learn to listen. Emerson understood something that most people never understand. The voice inside your head is not just a random conversation. It is not just anxiety or doubt or that internal critic who does not shut up. Buried under all this noise is something deep, something that knows the things your rational mind could never find out. He called intuition, but is bigger than that. It is your direct connection with infinite intelligence. Think of all the great innovations of human history. All invention, every work of art, every moment of genius came from following instructions or copying what everyone was doing. He came from someone who learned to trust in this inner voice, even when he made no logical sense, even when everyone around him thought they were crazy. Trust yourself, said Emerson. Every soul vibrates with this truth. But here is what is tragic. We were trained to trust everything except ourselves. We trust Google more than in our gut. We trust strangers on social media more than in our own experience. We trust systems that profit from our confusion more than the wisdom that has been with us since birth. The genius you are looking for is not in the course of a guru or in some old secret or some technique you have not learned yet. It's on you, has always been to you. But it was buried under conditioning layers that started before you could talk. Now tell me in the comments, what part of your life is dormant and need to wake up? Write with sincerity. When you declare, you start to transform. Comment now. My inner power is ready to wake up. Or, I'm ready to take control of my life. Your comment may be the first step in your change, and also inspire those who need to read the most. Let me paint an image of how this conditioning works. From the moment you were born, well-meaning people began to say who you should be. Your parents, trying to keep it safe, taught you how to color inside the lines. His teachers, overwhelmed with 30 other students, rewarded him for being stopped and regurgitating information rather than thinking for themselves. Your friends, dealing with your own insecurities, made you feel weird to be different. And slowly, piece by piece, you have learned to ignore this inner voice. You have learned that following the crowd was safer than standing out. You have learned that other people's opinions imported more than your own truth. You have learned to seek validation from everyone except the only person whose opinion really matters. The educational system played a huge role in this. Instead of teaching him to think, he taught you how to memorize. Instead of encouraging his natural curiosity, he punished him for asking many questions. Instead of helping him to discover his only gifts, he tried to squeeze it in the same way as everyone else. When you graduated, you have learned to be a good employee, but you forgot how you are yourself. Then there is the fear of judgment. Oh, this is the great. We are so terrified of what other people may think we stop thinking for ourselves. We chose careers based on what seems impressive on paper instead of what illuminates us inside. We are in relationships that drain us because we are afraid of being alone. We bite our tongue when we should speak and speak when we should hear, all because we are more concerned with managing other people's reactions than honoring our own truth. And loneliness, this is another trap. We are so desperate to belong somewhere that we will abandon ourselves to fit anywhere. Let's laugh at jokes that are not funny. We will agree with opinions that we do not share and pretend to be interested in things that bore us to death, all because we are afraid of being rejected by who we really are. But here is what no one tells you about this pleasant game to people. It doesn't work. The more you try to be what others want, the less they really respect you. The more you hide your true self, the more lonely you become. And the more you ignore this inner voice, the quieter it gets, until one day you realize that you don't even know who it is more. I want you to try something now. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a different version of your life. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning completely free from the need to approve anyone else. Imagine entering any room with the silent confidence that comes from knowing exactly who you are and be completely well with her. Imagine yourself speaking your truth without calculating how others can react. See yourself making decisions based on what seems right to you, not what seems right to everyone else. Imagine the energy that would flow through your body when you are no longer carrying the exhaustive weight of pretending to be someone you do not. How would you go through the world? How would you behave? What would you say you are not saying now? What would you do that you are not doing now? Who you would become if you stop trying to be who you think it should be and start to be who you really are. This is not fantasy. This is your right of firstborn. This is what you were before the world convinced you that you were smaller. And the beautiful is that it is not too late. This authentic self is still there, patiently waiting for you to remember. But remembering is not enough. You need tools, practical ways to reconnect with this inner wisdom and strengthen it until it becomes stronger than all the voices that try to slaughter it. Let you give you 3 simple but powerful practices that will begin this process immediately. First, we need to change the conversation in your head. At the moment, your internal dialogue is probably a mixture of criticism, worry, and endless comments about everything wrong with your life. Let's turn this into something that really serves you. Every morning, before checking your phone or talking to anyone else, I want you to have a conversation with the best version of yourself. Look in the mirror and say these words as you mean. I am strength. My truth is enough. I trust my inner wisdom. I'm exactly where I need to be to become who I should be. This is not a positive thinking. This is recognition of the truth. You are not trying to be convinced of something false. You are remembering something real you have forgotten. Your brain believes what you say repeatedly. At the moment, you are probably saying that you are not good enough, smart enough, strong enough. No wonder you feel powerless. Start feeding it the truth. You are strength. You are wisdom. You are enough, just as you are now. The second tool is what I call the morning ritual of silence. Before the world begins to demand your attention, before and emails and notifications and emergencies of other people, you need to reconnect yourself. Set your alarm 15 minutes before and spend this time in complete silence, not meditating, without praying, doing nothing except listening to your own mind. Do not try to empty your thoughts or achieve some mystical state. Feel silent and observe what comes up. What are you worried about? What are you excited? What looks right? What looks wrong? This is your inner wisdom trying to communicate with you, but it speaks of whispers, and whispers are drowned out by the noise of everyday life. The more you practice the silence this morning, the clearer the inner voice becomes. You will begin to notice the difference between fear-based thoughts that come from conditioning and wisdom-based thoughts that come from your authentic self. Fear thoughts are usually urgent and dramatic. Thoughts of wisdom are usually calm and clear. Learn to say the difference, and your whole life will change. The third tool is what I call your weekly act of courage. Every week, I want you to do something that reflects who you really are, not who you think it should be. This doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be as simple as using something that makes you feel like you, even if you are not fashionable. It may be talking about a meeting when you are usually quiet. It may be saying no to something you don't want to do, even if people can be disappointed. The point is not specific action. It is the practice of honoring your authentic self in the real world. Every time you choose authenticity about approval, you strengthen this inner voice. Every time you act your truth instead of your fears, you remember a little more of who you really are. Start small. The goal is not to revolutionize your whole life overnight. The goal is to build a relationship with your authentic self, and like any relationship, takes time and consistent attention. But every small act of self-honor adds up, and before you realize, you will be living from a completely different place. Here is what will happen when practicing these tools. At first, This internal critic will get louder. It will say this is selfish, that you are being ridiculous, that you must be grateful for what you have and stop swinging the boat. This is normal. This is the fight against conditioning, because you know your power over you is slipping. Don't fight the critic, just recognize and continue. Thank you for sharing, but I will trust myself in this. The critic obtains his power of his resistance. When you stop fighting and start ignoring it, you get bored and find someone to worry about. You may also notice that some people in your life do not like the changes. They can try to pull it back to old standards, make you feel guilty of changing, or even angry at you for not who they want you to be. This is also normal. When you stop playing small, it makes other people uncomfortable with your own smallness. This is their problem, not yours. Remember, you're not changing to hurt anyone or be difficult. You're changing because living as a smaller version of yourself is slowly killing your soul and deserves better. Anyone who really loves him will support his growth, even if it is uncomfortable for them at first. The most beautiful thing on this journey is that, as you become more authentically, you give the other permission to do the same. Your courage becomes contagious. Your authenticity creates space for other people to release their masks as well. You become an example that it is possible to be real in a world that rewards pretending. I want to leave you with a final image. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, walking down the street. But this time, your posture is different. Your shoulders are back, not because someone told you to get up, but because you are no longer carrying the weight of the expectations of all others. Your eyes are clear and focused, not digitizing approval or judgment, but simply present what is in front of you. There is something different in your energy. People realize you, not because you are trying to be noticed, but because authenticity has a magnetic quality that attracts people. You talk when you have something to say and be quiet when you don't. You make decisions quickly because you trust yourself. You sleep peacefully because you are living aligned with who you really are. This is not a future fantasy version of yourself. It is who you are really below all the conditioning. This is your natural state when you are not trying to be someone else. This is your power, not borrowed from anyone else, not dependent on external circumstances, but from the infinite pool of strength that lives within you. Its power is not in a book, a master, or in the future. It's inside you now, right now. Every breath you summarize is fed by the same force that rotates planets and cultivates forests. Every thought you think has the potential to change your whole reality. Every choice you make is an opportunity to honor the magnificent that you really are. The world will try to convince it otherwise. It will try to sell solutions to problems you don't have and make you feel broken, so you will buy corrections you don't need. He will try to make it smaller, more manageable, and easier to control. Don't leave it. You are not broken. You have no lack of anything. You are not much or not enough. You are perfect exactly as it is, and powerful beyond the measure. Return to this message whenever you forget. Go back to this feeling whenever the world tries to decrease you. This is where your true self awakens, where your inner power remembers, where you recover the magnificence that has always been yours. The only question now is, what are you going to do with all this power? How are you going to use this by remembering? Who will you become when you stop trying to be someone else? Your authentic self is waiting for your answer, and the world is waiting for your gifts. It's time to stop hiding and start shining. It's time to trust yourself. It's time to come to life.